Hey everyone, it's Colin from GIY Guy. Thanks for checking out today's video. Hope you're getting excited for the growing season. I just thinned out some lettuce sprouts, so I'm ready to go. But today's video, I want to show you what I'm very excited about, and that is my second year Blackberry canes, also known as Floricanes. This is the year that we're going to get a summer harvest. So if you remember back in the fall, I actually posted a video prepping these guys for winter, just showing you how I pruned them. Basically what I did, I left the main canes as much as I could without them crowding each other. And then I trimmed back all these side canes, or side shoots, branches if you will. I trimmed them all back to about 1 foot or 1.5 feet, just so they're not flopping on the ground, just so they don't get tangled up, and they also leave plenty of room for the new growth, which is now this year. You can probably still see some of the old growth here. The leaves kind of turn like a purplish brown. They didn't actually die off and fall off completely. They'll probably just fall off through the second year growing season. We've got plenty of new second year growth already. They started sprouting in like early February, and I got nervous. It dropped to like 26 or 27 degrees, and I went out and put a tarp over them just because I didn't want the frost or the freeze to kill all my buds off. So it's a little bit frustrating that they sprout so early, because then you kind of have to protect them. And at least I didn't want to take the risk of not protecting them and then they all die. So here's a better shot of the first year and second year growth. You can see the first year growth is that purplish brown color. Most of the leaves, I guess, are kind of falling off, but you can see a lot of them still will probably fall off this year. But we've also got tons of new little growth here. So this is the Floricane, the second year growth. And actually, look at that. We've even got a little, looks like a little bud. That's gonna be a flower. That's gonna be a blackberry flower. I didn't even notice that before. That's super awesome. There's another one peeking behind there. And another one. So yeah, they're starting to pop up. This is super exciting. You can see we've got that new growth all along these first year canes there. Also, we've got some primicanes that just popped up. Very excited for that. They came up about the same time the rest of the plants started budding. So I kind of just showed you 3 stages of growth. I showed you the old growth, the first year growth that's kind of dying off. I showed you the new growth on the Floricanes with the new little flower buds coming in. And then I showed you the primicanes that will actually bud next year. One big thing I'm going to try to do as these mature is, manage my canes well, especially the primicanes and the Floricanes. I'd really like to not get them intermingled, because with the thorns, they just get to be a tangled mess. So I'm actually going to try to keep the Floricanes on, this side of the trellis, and I'm going to put the primicanes on the back side. Hopefully I have enough room. I'm really not sure how many primicanes are going to pop up this year, but we can always thin them out if we need to. The last thing I want to mention is fertilizers. So fertilizing, very important. I would recommend doing about 3 different batches of fertilizer. 1 in the fall, 1 in the spring, and 1 in the midsummer. I would say the summer because I think you usually get 2 harvests out of blackberries. You get one kind of early summer, like June, July, and then another round in late July, August maybe, if I'm remembering that correctly. So I used 15-10-10 plant food. Back in the fall, I put 1 scoop around the base of each plant, and this is just to help it strengthen its root system, help it to kind of lock in over a long winter. It just makes the plants stronger and more healthy. And then the second batch I'm going to apply is actually today, which is right as they're starting to bloom. So you get really good second year growth. You get really strong blooms, lots of flowering, and the more flowers you get, the more fruit that you're going to get. So you want to make sure, if you can, plant tons of flowers around here, because you're going to get a lot of good pollinators pollinating your blackberries. But they also have really pretty white flowers themselves, so that should attract pollinators. Now to wrap up, I'm going to put 1 scoop of 15-10-10 fertilizer around the base of each of these plants. I'm not going to water it in because it's supposed to rain the next few days. And if there's one thing I learned, it's that blackberries do not like to be overwatered. This bag of fertilizer actually came with a handy little scoop. Most of them probably will, but we're just going to get 1 level scoop like that. And I'm just going to shake it kind of around the perimeter of the blackberry plant. You're not going to dump it all right at the base of the canes, because their roots are going to be, about a you caught me on the hat. Their root structure is going to be about 1 foot or 1.5 feet in diameter. So you can go ahead and just sprinkle it around the outside, maybe a little bit in the middle, but don't just dump it up right in the middle of it. We're just going to shake it around, and we'll let it do its thing and soak it in over the week. Well, that's all I've got for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up for those cute little blackberry sprouts. But the reason I do these videos is because there's not a lot of blackberry content on YouTube that actually shows you how to grow good blackberries. So I'm hoping through this experiment that you guys can learn along with me and grow healthy blackberries yourselves. So with that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one, and keep growing it yourself.